you given any thought to obedience training? Are you one of those guardians who's wondering how to start with obedience training when it comes to their puppy or their big dog? If you are someone who is stuck in this conundrum, you're at the perfect place. Today's topic of discussion is how to start obedience training with your puppy. Hello everyone, welcome to The Happy Puppers. I am Dr. Shruti Bhattacharya, author and owner of thehappypuppers.com, your one-stop destination to everything dog. Dog psychology, training, food, health, diseases, grooming, everything. The blog link will be in the description, so go ahead and check it out there. And as I mentioned before, today's video is about how to start obedience training with your puppy. The best option would be to start as early as possible. But yeah, if you have an older dog or if you've adopted an older dog, which is so amazing, you can always start it later. So before I get into the video, I would like to give you a tiny reminder. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, hit that like button, the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, set it to all so that YouTube never forgets to notify you whenever a new video goes live from Shruti and Delta. If you're into cute dog videos, well, I've got those as well. So just check out the other videos of the channel. Alright, now, how to start obedience training with your pup. I will be discussing 10 tips here that will get you started on this. If you want more information, you can either contact me directly, you can leave comments on this video, and I will guide you through it, or you can consult a professional in your area who can get you started on this process. So, point number 1. The first thing that you will need to start, dog training, obedience training, or any form of bonding with your dog will be to have amazing quality treats. If your dog is someone like my boys who don't like outside food, then you gotta put in a little effort and cook them. So my kids love boiled chicken or eggs, but eggs cannot really be used as a treat, so I go with chicken. So you can either use boiled chicken or you can go with beef jerky and all those commercial dog treats that are available if your kids like it. Whatever they like, it should be good quality and it should be a high value treat. High value meaning your dog should be ready to do anything to get a tiny morsel of that treat. The treat should have an extremely high value for your dog, not for you. Point number 2. Should you go for positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement? Which method to use when you are starting obedience training with your dog? Let me clarify one thing here. Negative reinforcement, as in punishments, shock collars, and those stuffs don't work. The only kind of negative reinforcement that I allow or am okay with dog parents using is the timeout option. Sometimes Zeus gets very rambunctious and he gets put into a timeout. So he has to sit at one place for at least around 60 to 90 seconds before he's let off. That is just to calm your dog down, to bring down their high energy levels so that they can play and interact. In this case, Zeus can interact with Delta a little more civilly instead of going all velociraptor on him. That is the only negative reinforcement method that I ask or allow dog guardians to use with their pups. Negative reinforcement methods like using shock collars, hitting your dog, scolding your dog, screaming at your dog, those don't work. Those scientifically don't work. They make your dog scared. In turn, your dog can become aggressive and might try to bite you, and you will have a bigger problem on your hands. So you need to learn to deal with dog behavioral issues right from the start and by using a positive reinforcement method, never a negative reinforcement one. Point number 3, how to set up the sessions. Now, if you go through any dog blog, my blog or anyone else's, they will always tell you that training sessions, young dog, old dog, whichever age dog you have, should be short, sweet, crispy if you're including nice treats then. But it should always be short. It shouldn't be like 40 minutes or like 60 minutes of training. No, dogs cannot handle that. It's way too much on them. Dogs are like kids. Dogs are like toddlers. Do you really expect a toddler to sit through 1 hour of training? Impossible. Same case with dogs. So when you're training your dog, make sure that the training sessions are short. 10 to 15 minutes at the max. Now, if you have a puppy, only 10 minutes. If you have a very rambunctious puppy, definitely only 10 minutes. If you have a calm puppy who's enjoying the training process, is interacting with you, not getting distracted, then yeah, you can increase it to 15 minutes or even 20 minutes. But you have to judge your dog's response and keep the training session till that duration. Best way would be to figure out if 10 minutes is working, if 15 minutes is working, if 20 minutes is working. What is the time duration that your dog is paying attention to you the best, and use that. Now, the next thing that you have to focus on when you're setting up your sessions is make sure that you also focus on the training that you provided yesterday. Now, there is something called as revision. We do it for our exams, for our projects. We have to, when we learn things, we tend to forget it unless we have revised it a few times. Same case with dogs. If you teach your dog the sit command today and then don't revise it with your dog for like a week or month, your dog is bound to forget it, and then you will think that, oh my god, I taught my dog so many tricks and I taught my dog to do so many things, but he or she is not doing any of it. So what happened? That's because there was no revision and there was memory decay and your dog forgot the command. So if you taught your dog to sit yesterday, today's training session must start with what you taught him yesterday. So first you will ask your dog to sit. It should also be a part of your current training session. So sit, stay, stand, calm. These are some of the very basic training tools that you will need before you start obedience training. So your dog should already be aware of these before the obedience training is started, because you will need these while you are training your dog to do other stuffs. So make sure that you always revise whatever you have taught your dog before. If your dog knows plenty of stuff and you are now starting with obedience training, then make sure that you have first few minutes to, quickly make your dog go through all of the things that your dog should already know. And if there's a hitch anywhere, revise it a few times so that it becomes clear in your dog's head like a muscle memory. Point number 4. As I mentioned before you start with obedience training, your dog needs to learn the basic commands like sit, stay, down, come, heel, or let's go, as in my case, or come. Luckily, my boys are sleeping and they're not paying much attention to what I'm speaking. Otherwise, they both would be here right now. So, you gotta focus on these commands, these basic commands first, before you can start your dog on any specific kind of training. Now, a lot of the times it happens that guardians use alternatives. Like, instead of come, I might use let's go. In that case, you have to make sure that if you're working with a professional, the professional knows your command and not theirs. As in, suppose my boys understand let's go, but they don't understand come. Now, I go to a professional and the professional is using the word like come or heel. My kids don't understand that and they won't respond. And that would lead to the professional having to teach them now what is the meaning of come and heel, etc. etc. It is basically a wastage of time. So just tell the professionals what you have taught your pup to respond to. Point number 5. Decide on a space. Now, where in the house are you going to conduct the training process? Is it going to be your bedroom? Is it going to be the living room? Is it going to be the backyard? Is it going to be the kitchen? Or is it going to be the bathroom? So you have to figure out which space will be dedicated to training. The space that you select should have your dog's stuffs, but not too many distractions. Like, it shouldn't be the living room where everyone's just sitting and chatting and you're trying to train your dog there. Your dog will obviously be distracted by all the people present there. Or on the road or in a dog park. These places are not really favorable when you're teaching your dog a command. These places are good for reinforcement of the command once your dog has a good hang of it. Like, you've taught your dog recall. Now, where will you test the recall? For the testing of recall, you can take your dog to a field or to a dog park and see if your dog is responding or not. But when you are teaching your dog, the first training sessions must be conducted in the house. Where your dog is in familiar surroundings, he is less likely to get distracted and he's more likely to focus on what you are saying and telling and, trying to explain to him. That way, the training process goes faster. It's less frustrating for both you as well as your pup. Point number 6. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. As I mentioned, dogs are like kids. So it can happen that you taught your dog a few commands today. Your dog was responding well. It was a good day. You taught your dog to sit, come, maybe roll over and spin. Now, tomorrow comes. And you think that, okay, I taught my dog 4 commands yesterday. I'm so hyped up, so pumped up. Today we are going to do amazing. Turns out your dog doesn't remember a few of the commands. He's forgotten what is roll over. He's forgotten what is speak or anything that you taught him. He forgot what is spin. So now you're thinking, what happened? I spent so much of my time yesterday on this and today this is the result? How the hell? It's because dogs are babies and they are likely to forget. So yeah, try not to teach your dog so many commands in a day. First thing, train your dog in just 1 command in 1 day. You can revise all the other commands he already knows, but train your dog only 1 new command per day and make sure that the new command gets plenty of revision time so that your dog doesn't forget. And this 1 step forward, 2 step backwards is a common thing in dog training. So don't get frustrated. Just remind your dog gently what it meant, and eventually, as and when you keep going about it, your dog will remember the commands and will not forget. So you just have to keep going, maintain patience, and keep revising, which brings us to the 8th point. To the 7th point, be consistent. So you keep revising, which brings us to the 7th point, which is be consistent. You cannot train your dog today, take a week leave, come back and train on the 8th day. Sorry, that doesn't work. Dogs have a short memory span. If the thing or the instruction or the command does not move from their short-term memory to the long-term memory, it's gonna be an epic fail. So you have to stay consistent. You have to devote a few times in the week when you teach your dog new stuffs and when you revise old stuffs. Old revision should actually happen on a day-to-day basis, morning, evening, night, like depending on the scene. You're asking your dog to sit, come, you're working, you see your dog, okay, you ask for a spin, you have a few treats in your hand, you give your dog a treat. So like that, like revision should be spontaneous, occurring at any time, and the more you do it, your dog will be used to, following commands anywhere he is. So if there is a case of emergency and you're outside and you need your dog to sit, there's incoming traffic, your dog is being a bit agitated, you ask your dog to sit. Since your dog is used to sitting anywhere and everywhere because you've practiced so much, your dog will instantly sit. But if your dog only knows that he's only supposed to sit when indoors and not when outdoors, he will not follow the instructions. So revision must be constant, and practice and teaching should be very consistent. There shouldn't be long breaks because that will hamper your teaching process, that will hamper your dog's understanding, and that will make you both frustrated. Point number 8, and the point I have been emphasizing probably from the first point on, which was revision. You have to keep revising. There is no alternative to getting the command into the muscle memory of your dog. You just have to keep doing it till, even if in sleep you ask your dog to sit, he or she knows what is sit and responds to it. Now sit, come, let's go. And these are very basic commands, but the advanced level of commands, if you are teaching your dog, like spin, roll over, play dead, stuff like that, you have to make sure that you practice them on a daily basis or at least every few days so that the chances of your dog completely forgetting them are less. Point number 9. Spend time with your dog even outside of the training sessions. If you're employing a professional trainer or if you're training your dog yourself, there will be a training time and there should be a play time. So if you have a professional who's taking care of your dog and training your dog, be there, be present during the training sessions. Watch your dog, watch what the trainer is doing and mimic those activities later on when you are home with your dog. So suppose your trainer is teaching your dog to sit and follow and heel and stop and turn around and stuff like that. So you watch how the trainer interacts with your dog, and then you mimic those actions at home so that your dog gets a bit of practice. It's like a toddler going to school learning ABC and then not doing the homework ABC and then going to school next day and forgetting all about it. So even if you have a professional looking after the training process, you still have to be involved. At the end, you are the parent, not the trainer. So you still have to be involved, and you have to consistently keep doing those exercises at home, random times, around dinner, before dinner, during playtime. These will also act as bonding time between you and your dog. Your dog will understand your cues, understand your body language, and you will get to learn so much about your dog. Trust me. And point number 10, as I mentioned, if you're getting professional help now, getting professional help doesn't mean that you don't have the time to do it. In some cases, it may be hard for you to understand what your dog is trying to tell you. There is a bit of miscommunication, and the training is not going so well. Instead of feeling frustrated and keeping at it and making it a nasty business, get help. Ask a professional to step in. Maybe 10 sessions, and you will figure out what was going wrong in your training method. Maybe you were giving the treat a bit too early. Maybe you were giving the treat a bit too late. All of these factors can have a crucial impact on your dog's psyche when training. So if you are finding it hard to train, go get help. There is no fault in asking for help. A couple of sessions with the trainer, you can discuss with the trainer what you are doing and where you might be going wrong. The trainer can tell you all of that, and then you can train your dog better. At the end, all of these just improve your bond with your pup. So don't hesitate to get help if you feel that you need to. You can also reach out to me via the comment section below, or you can reach out to me via my blogs. Anyway is okay. So I wish you a very happy training session and good luck. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, hit that like button, the subscribe button, ring the bell, check out the blog. I will see you in my next video. Till then, have a lovely, lovely training time with your pup. Bye bye.